going back to the other thing that we did, do you mind telling a story again about how you and Dr. Gunnings helped get the NFL the Big Ten referees? Do you mind telling that story?
Well, it was three of us, Thomas Gunnings, Professor Joe McMillan, and myself. Several of the football players, I believe it was the football players at the time, because Duffy Doherty, the football coach was involved, came to me and say, hey, why do we not have any Black officials officiating or refereeing football games? We think that play would be fairer, players would be more respectful of each other. We think it should happen. So I went to two of my colleagues at Michigan State, Dr. Thomas Gunnings and Dr. Joe McMillan, and I shared with them that the football players are concerned that there are no Black officials officiating football games. I believe it was football, it wasn't basketball, I think it was football. So I went to a man by the name of Wayne Duke. Wayne Duke was the Big Ten commissioner of sports, I believe it was. And I said, look, we want some Black officials, especially Black players, but all players. We want some Black officials out there refereeing, officiating games. And I never forget, we were told, I should say, that we don't know that there are any Blacks who can officiate. We don't know of any. I said, well, obviously there are some at the high school level. I said, if they're officiating high school sports, they can probably officiate college sports. And Wayne Duke said, well, I believe it was Wayne Duke at the time. He said, I don't know that we can do that, especially have somebody by the fall. I said, look, you've got a very important football game coming up in the fall. I think it was Michigan State versus Notre Dame. I said, if you don't have some Black officials for that game, Black ball players are not going to play. They looked at me very strange. Is he kidding? And I didn't say anything else. We got up and walked out. And I believe it was Bert Smith, who was head of sports at Michigan State. Wayne Duke called him and shared with him what had happened. And Bert Smith assured him that we were men of our word. If we said Black ball players ain't going to play, they're probably not going to play. So that caused a panic. And guess what? All of a sudden, they found a Black official or two. One of the first ones they found, I think, was a young man by the name of Don Coleman. Don was an All-American football player at Michigan State University. And they picked up Don. Don was living in Flint, I think, at the time. And they went to Flint and found Don quickly and got him all suited up to be an official, a referee. So things can happen. People can do the right thing when they're pushed. Sometimes you have to push them pretty hard, but they will eventually come around. So that's how we got Black officials into the Big Ten. And also, Ted, I was watching sports, national sports, the last few days. They didn't have any Black officials in professional sports. So the Big Ten laid the foundation. They laid the foundation for sports to be integrated from a referee standpoint, and Michigan State provides the leadership. And I was involved in that along with Joe McMillan and Thomas Gunnings years ago. That's my story.